Assemble!
Now one of the world's longest-serving news duos is celebrating a major milestone.
Our very own Channel 7 news readers Rick Ardon and Susannah Carr have notched up 30 years reading together in Perth. Now they have their eyes on a world record.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Susannah Carr and Rick Ardon.
In Perth, Rick and Sue are household names. They've been reading the news side by side for 30 years. That's longer than they've been married to their partners.
We did have an argument once, and we can't actually remember what it was about. I think it was about 12 or 13 years ago. We think it might have been about the holiday roster. That's about it. So I think 30 years, one argument, not bad.
Well, I remember when I was young, the world had just begun and I was happy.
The year was 1985 and Rick and Sue began their work marriage at Channel 7 Perth. Rick was 26 years old, Sue 32. And boy, did they embrace the 80s.
It was all part of the look at the time. It's funny now, but I embrace it. I reckon it's funny.
For 3 decades now, they've delivered every major story, sometimes from opposite ends of the world.
Good evening, everyone. And on a stormy night in Perth, Susannah joins us live outside Buckingham Palace. And Sue, the royal family's been criticised for its silence, but today a very public showing of their private pain.
Yes, Rick, Prince Charles stood by his sons as they prayed for their mother at a private service at Balmoral.
With thousands of bulletins under their belts, they've notched up a couple of bloopers.
Well, looks as though we haven't got that story, so we'll continue. We'll try another one for you. Unfortunately, we are having extreme technical problems at the moment, so what we'll have to do is take you to our next program, Sons and Daughters.
Some in Perth have only ever watched the news with Rick and Sue, like weekend presenter Blake Johnson. He was born the same year they started.
They're kind of like your parents a little bit because you almost see them as much as your parents growing up. Every night, folks watch the news. They're in the lounge room with you while your parents are in the lounge room with you.
Today, these newsreaders are making the news as they celebrate their 30th anniversary. But this partnership is not over yet.
We thought we had the world record, but we found out that a couple in America went for 32 years. Obviously, we've got to go for 32 and we'll take it from there.
What an extraordinary milestone. Sue and Rick join us now. Good morning to you both. Rick, look, mate, what's the secret to the success of you two?
I think we get along really well. That's the secret, and we're both different people, but we're compatible as well, and we complement each other so well on air. What do you think, Sue?
I think we appeal to different people because, as Rick said, we're really quite different. Rick's really sporty. I'm not. And we like different things, but I think between us we appeal to a fairly broad spectrum of the community. So, yeah. And obviously with all the years behind us, we've got credibility from all the stories that we've covered. So, and as Blake said, people have grown up with us in Perth too. That's a great advantage.
Don't know about being Blake's parents, but almost.
That's right, guys, that's how he sees it. Sue, that was such a lovely little walk down memory lane there. And as you say, so many stories. But on a shallow note, for all those stories, so many outfits, so many 80s outfits. How do you think about those? What do you think?
Why is the past always so embarrassing? The shoulder pads, the hair, the earrings, my God. I mean, at one stage I remember the technical guys saying, Susannah, you're going to have to rein your hair in a bit. It's getting too big for the screen. And that was in the days of perms.
And can I say, Koshy, what you're wearing at the moment may be something people talk about in the future.
Yeah, well, it could be. This tie, you just never know. Hey, I'm interested to know what your respective partners think of your work marriage, and do they get along?
Well, yeah, actually they get on very well. They do. And the funny thing is, we were both in the industry when we met our partners, so it's something that they've always had to deal with, and it's not easy being the partner of someone in television because people tend to go, oh, are you in television too? And when they say no, they go, oh. And sort of don't pay them as much attention as they deserve, you know, and they're both great people.
Yeah, they are both great people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and that you grew up with.
Yeah, not just Perth too. You know, right around Western Australia, you two are icons. What on earth would that state do if you ever gave it up?
Well, not planning on doing that. I mean, I have to say, we're at the top of our game. We're used to each other. We love the top stories, and we will continue for a very long time, we hope, delivering the best news in WA. Did I sell that well?
And we've also got a big change happening in Perth too, because we're moving to new studios. We're rehearsing at the moment. We're moving into something that's quite dynamic and different. So, you know, we've got a whole new lease on life. And also we've got Chuck Simmons and Sue Simmons and Chuck Scarborough's record to break in 2 years' time.
Yeah, so that's Chuck and Sue. We're Rick and Sue, and so we're looking forward to overtaking Chuck and Sue.
Yeah, perfect. That's
I'm
like
sure
a
you'll
movie.
do it.
All right, guys, congratulations. A great milestone.
Well done.
Thank you.
Terrific.
Good on you. Isn't that great?
It
See,
is.
we've got a long way to
We've
go.
only done 2 years together, but it
I know.
feels like 30.
I know. That's it.
It doesn't.
I've done the
In a good
numbers.
way.
I'll be 86 when we get to 30 years.
Oh, God.
That'll
What'll
be great,
I
won't
be?
it?
86 will be the new 56 by then.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly right. It is now.